PGH. I'm talking about the man David Gowu. He's been here once upon a time. We had a conversation around coding. Well, he's back. And today we're talking about technology jobs available today. So this is very important for you to learn a thing or two. Maybe your job will be extinct in the next 2, 3, 5 years. So learning something new will help you. Okay, boss, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How have you been?
Nice meeting you.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, welcome back.
Thank
All right,
you.
so we talked last week. We had a conversation. We talked about the job opportunities available in the world of technology. So today, we want to get into more of that also. So let's start off with this. And it says in Ghana, over 9 million jobs will require digital skills by 2030, translating to about 20 million training opportunities. Wow. So 2030, we're looking at about 9 million jobs.
Yeah. So in May, IFC came up with a report on Ghana and Sub-Saharan Africa that they were looking at digital skills, what we call the technology skills. And we are deficient when it comes to the skills that is required for the 21st century.
Wow.
So it's predicted that 9 million jobs from now to the next 10 years will be required. And we need to get our people trained to get those jobs. So it's very, very important. It's an important conversation we need to have.
Why are we not getting to that level yet? What is happening?
Okay, partly because our educational systems are not reforming. They are not, getting technology into the classroom. And this goes directly to heads of institutions. We need to actively be involved in the transformation in the technology and the emerging technologies that we have today.
All right. So it looks like we don't probably. Is it our fault by not getting to that level of technology age yet, or we should blame the government?
No, government is playing its parts. For example, government has introduced. Coding even in schools. But I think private sector also needs to come up. They need to really start getting young people to experience new and emerging technologies. We have a very young population, and in the next 10 years, those who are in JHS now will be graduates. But when you go to the schools are just focusing on the academic part, which means they are just
so it has to do with the curriculum that we have at the moment.
Yes, the theoretical part. They are not looking at what are the hands-on skills we need to get these kids to learn, so that when they come out from school, they would have already the skill that will be required by industry. So this is what we need to do, and this is what our organization is trying to get involved.
So we're looking at some of the job opportunities in the future.
So
we're looking at
you see there are some job opportunities currently because we already have graduates. First one we'll be looking at as software engineering, so apps, websites.
So this one's
So for example,
telecommunication, fiber optics installations.
Yes, you will see fiber optics is actually the next thing. We started
the ground
with
cables,
2G,
the lay and all that.
So we need a lot of young people to learn, how to install these cables. Sometimes they put them on electric, poles. And MTN, Vodafone, they are all in it.
I remember when Glow was launching, they told about the fiber optic cables being laid across Africa
and
all
so
those things.
Glow, they brought in the fiber optics, the submarine fiber optics. But, getting them to the last mile, what we call last mile, means getting them to your house. We need people to be able to do that, to dig or to run cables to the homes. And this is why you see that when you're using Wi-Fi, it's cheaper. So it's the next thing in telecom. Already, the telecommunication industry, they've already been able to use the mobile network to most of the places. But fiber is what we need for the next generation. Because
saying that we need, does it mean that even the current telcos are already in
yes, so Vodafone and MTN, they already have this, what we call FTT X. So fiber to the home. And we also need other organizations. For example, C-Squared, they are also laying fiber. An organization that Google invested in. But we need skilled people to be able to lay these fiber optics to the homes. And our young people are not learning these things in schools. So when they finish their university, they're looking for a job. They have the certificate, but they don't have the skill to spread the fiber. There's a company in Accra called Admin Telecom. They are the only company I know training people in fiber optics. So that they can get to the job places. So MTN will tell you, today we have maybe an issue because we have a fiber cut. people will have to go there and fix these fiber cards. Okay. And you need a skill to be able to do what we call splicing and all that.
Okay. Yeah. Is it that people don't have interest in IT and they don't think there's a need for them to go learn?
No, it's the awareness. Okay. We need to do a lot more in terms of awareness. We need to get on.
I guess that's where TikTok comes in.
Yes. So that's why
there's a bigger picture also in there. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So let's take a look at the software engineering, website design, apps, and database. So that's another big space we can take a look at.
It's the biggest place now.
Biggest. Okay. Yeah.
And you know, if you're a young person and you finish school and you finish computer science, IT, or any other field, and you can't find a job, one of the easiest areas you can look at is learning how to develop a website. Okay. And when you learn how to develop a website, look for small businesses and approach them. Tell them the reason why it is important for them to have a website. Okay. Develop this website for them and manage the website. Let them have online presence. You know, so these are, they should stop looking at big companies because the big companies are already choked. Okay. Look at SMEs and approach them with your solution and help them grow. Okay. And then they'll grow with you. At least within a month, you get a few thousand.
There's a case in point. I know you've always talked about this app issue, but then again, apps runs on internet.
Yeah, that's right.
And internet services here in Ghana, it's nothing to write home about.
Yeah,
so I learned how to develop an app, a website and all that, and the company needs it to operate. But then again, because of internet services, they want to forget about that and do something else. So then my work becomes a bit redundant, more like putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, so we need to handle and manage these two areas. Earlier on, we talked about fiber optics. I believe that internet services today, they are expensive because we are using a lot more of mobile data for businesses. We need to get fiber to these offices so that they will have Wi-Fi in their office. It's cheaper. I have fiber to my home, so I'm able to do a lot of things. Yeah. But we need to get even businesses. If I have it, fiber, and I'm able to pay maybe 190 or 180 cedis, and I have maybe 100 gigs for a
whole month.
So a small business, buying mobile data will find it more expensive. Exactly. But we need to get these fiber optics to buildings and offices so that it will make it cheaper. So fiber is very, very important to solve that problem.
Okay, you said this is one of the biggest space.
Yes, because we talk about AI, we talk about Internet of Things, all these things. They require software engineering, and people must learn it.
Okay. How long does it take for somebody to probably graduate?
For example, let's say you want to develop a simple website. Within 1 month, if you are very serious, you can learn front-end development.
Okay.
Just 1 month.
Just 1 month. Okay.
You can learn front-end.
Okay.
But you can do, full stack, which may take you about a 6 month intensive training, then you are a full stack developer, front end and back end. Okay. So it's something that is possible.
Okay. All right. So we'll talk about USSD, which we spoke about once upon a time.
My colleagues were here last, and we talked about USSD. So all this mobile money and all these things that we do, these are things that are actually being used a lot in our part of the world. And we need to get people to learn how to configure them. Okay. So churches need them. Businesses need to create databases. They need people to interact with those databases. So USSD, one big thing, bigger than even internet for us in Africa.
Yeah, because we don't have internet access, so that's the easiest and the best way.
Young people should look at learning how to configure USSD. There are small business fintech companies that are around. You can also create one, and get in touch with NCA, get a license, and start operating. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's move on to the next one, other ones that we can talk about. So digital marketing, SEO, Facebook, Instagram.
So you see, today we are actually coming down to what we do in Ghana. We are not talking about all the big things
out there.
So you see, digital marketing is one area that is growing. We have billboards, but people also want to see adverts on their phones.
Exactly.
So a small business running, maybe they have their own fashion, shop where they sew nice dresses like yours. They want people to find these dresses online so that they can buy. A young man from university or finished SHS should be able to approach some of these companies and tell them that, look, you're selling this and I can help you get other people to see what you are selling online. And that is digital marketing. How do you amplify what you are selling online so that other people can get access and then get delivered? It's an important area. Young people should learn how to, help small businesses to amplify their presence online.
Now, there are cases where you be on Facebook or Instagram and probably even Twitter where you can boost
exactly.
Your whatever picture that you have. Do you necessarily need somebody to sublet that job to somebody else?
Okay, so if you are a busy business person, even our organization, we have a social media person. And that person's job is just to amplify our presence online. So if you type our institute, you find it online. Okay. So it's actually a full-time job.
He handles all the media handles.
all the different, social, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all these things. And then news, our activities, interviews, all of them will go on there. So it's good. You get a young person to, not even sitting in your office, but at home. Yeah. You pay him maybe a few CDs every month, and then they always amplify what you do online.
Okay. All right. So cybersecurity, I think this whole month is being put out there as we're celebrating cybersecurity. Even the minister gave an information that we are trying to fight back. For that reason, everybody's supposed to re-register their SIM card from January to June. So you think it's ethical hacking, CEE?
Yeah. So
what does that mean?
Certified ethical hacker.
Okay.
So we have people who are not certified. We have people who are doing it, who are criminals. We also have people who are like policemen or securities that protect businesses. So this is a big area. People need to learn, especially young people. Young graduates, SHS, JHS, university graduates, they need to go into cybersecurity, not for the wrong reason, but to protect businesses online. Okay. So to be a certified ethical hacker, you need to go through process. You need to, write certification exams, and then you have the CHE. So it's a big area. It's something that we are all having issues with, and we're trying to solve, but we don't have a human resource to do that. Okay. Young people should go into that area. Okay. And our organization, we help people also in training.
All right, so then we come to graphic design, which is very common. Yes. We see a lot of people doing posters, billboards.
So let's say I'm in my village, and every weekend there will be funeral, and they'll need posters, right? So as a young person, learn, graphic design. You can design posters for them. You can design, wedding posters. You can design other things, and all these things are done using, Photoshop, CorelDRAW. Okay. You learn them. Yeah. You can do that. You get a small old laptop. You are able to run that, and every design that you do, you can get 50 CDs, and you are going. Okay. So we're looking at small things that young people can do to get jobs to do. Okay. Yeah. All
right. And then the final one, hardware assembly and repair, has to do with computers and laptops. Yeah. So definitely, everybody's phone gets spoiled.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So where do you go? You go to Circle, isn't
exactly.
it? Yeah. So. Let's say I'm in Kumasi or I'm in, Takwa or Ho, and my phone is spoiled. Do I have to travel all the way to Circle? So young people in those areas must learn how to repair phones and laptops. They are things that are going to be with us for a long time to come.
The issue is where they are. Probably they don't even have access to internet.
Yes.
So they don't even have access to even light. For that matter, having internet to even learn these things. What happens to such people?
Okay. So determination. Okay. The first thing is to get to where you can have access. Okay. Not necessarily coming to Accra, but maybe you are.
Remember, you gave me a story of somebody from what region?
So there's somebody from OT region that came to our office. He found us online, and the young man, he was determined. He wanted to learn software engineering, so he came and we sponsored him to learn, how to develop websites, how to help villagers or farmers in their area to put their crops online so that other people will see. Yeah. So it's possible. Yeah. It's possible. Yeah. So we trying to encourage young people to stop thinking of, I need a job in a big company. They must look at solutions that technology can give them so that they can give jobs to people in their own communities. Okay. So I'm sure in as much as we are hoping that young people especially, would jump into this area of ICT, there are limitations. Let's look at some of the limitations that are available that somebody can overcome. Huge. First limitation is devices. Second is internet. Okay. Third is availability to training centers. Okay. Most of the training centers are centered in Accra because it doesn't make economic sense for them to move to some of these remote areas. But we have a lot of young people. In our organization, we get a lot of calls from all over the country. And I'm encouraging government to partner private sector institutions to take some of these trainings to some of these areas. We don't need everybody to come to Accra, but we can help them to get trainings to them so that they can develop their skills and be relevant in their own communities. Secondly, these skills are global skills, so you can also get jobs outside the country. Okay. So India is doing the same thing. I always talk about India because they have positioned themselves. They realize that we have a huge population, we have a lot of young people, we can actually export them. How do we export them? We give them the skill that when they get to any country, they can work.
They can perform.
And all these skills or all these career areas, you can get jobs elsewhere.
Okay, so having known the limitations and how to curtail them, you're saying that you need also the government to also put in some structures. And,
yes.
I think I've seen the Accra Digital Center and other
So
hubs
if I'm from
that.
Paga or I'm from, Nkwanta, and I don't even have a place in Accra, how do I access the center in Accra Digital Center? Even people in Accra, they don't know Accra Digital Center. Okay. Right. So we need to get the training to the communities where people, especially in collaboration with private sector, so that we can train our people. Is the biggest thing we need to do. Okay. We've done a lot of formal education. We have a lot of young people with certificates. Okay. But without the digital skills, they will not be relevant going forward.
Okay. So in a nutshell, let's put the whole conversation together. So in the near future, we're looking at 9 million jobs in the next 10 years, translating to about 20 million training opportunities. Yes. And I'm sure your institution, Institute of ICT Professional Ghana, are also trying your best to also put people together.
We are mobilizing professionals all over the country so that we can have the human resource capacity to be able to train other people. Okay. So that's what we've been able to do. For example, with software engineering, we've been able to train over 600 people. Wow. And what we mobilize professionals, they design content or curriculum that fits practical hands-on skill. And we use that to train people. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So it's almost a wrap on the technology jobs available today. So you've heard a lot. We talk about cybersecurity. We're talking about graphic designing. We talk about a lot, actually, that you can take advantage of. The world is not waiting for you. It's moving real fast and real quick. So if you don't get up and do something about it and learn something new in the world of ICT, you'll be lagging behind.